welcome to our art hive
Hmm.
on this hot and muggy Wednesday evening, and Chandra Burnett, and myself, which you can't. Hi, there's the hand waving on Facebook. We are, and there's Chandra's water bottle. There it is.
Oh,
there,
yeah.
No, there, no. Yeah, we're not good with opposite directions either.
Hi.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
Can I get her face? Oh, there she is.
Hey.
Hey. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, and you gotta get the full view of me and my mask. I've got my I'm wearing a shield. That's it from Maker North.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
one too.
She has one too. Yeah. And we're just trying to be as health conscious as possible
Yeah.
as we hang out in the air conditioning at the museum.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Because we both live in incredibly hot apartments.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
And we're tired of fainting. So.
Did you faint?
Well, no, I didn't actually faint, but I'm pretty sure I got heat stroke the other day. So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That has happened to me also.
Yeah.
Everyone's
You
got to
just-
stay cool.
yeah, you gotta stay cool, and you can't cool down. Oh, not good.
Mm-hmm.
So, and
Okay.
so there you are. And
So we have
Yes.
something new going on this time,
yes, we do.
and it's kind of fun. We are streaming live on YouTube
We are.
as well as Facebook Live and Instagram.
And Instagram, right? I think we're gonna try and do all the social medias that
Yeah.
we possibly can.
Yeah. And eventually, we're going to get really good at it,
We are.
and it'll be just one stream
Yes,
on all three.
that's right. And these are our pandemic goals.
Yes.
So we figure we have plenty of time.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
Corona ain't going anywhere.
No.
No time quick. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So thank you for laughing with us, Nikki, not at us. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Don't worry. So Chandra, today, right?
Mhm.
Oh, this is nice. Much better talking to a person.
It's nice to see you in person.
Oh, wait a minute. Am I talking? Okay. This is so weird because I'm looking
Don't-
at myself and it's very weird.
Don't look at
And
it.
I'm trying not to look at it because I'm in slow motion in a different direction and it's screwing with me. So it's okay. Trying hard not to do any kind of weird. Okay. Yeah. Kind of feel like I want a hat or something.
No, you look good.
I think. Just wanna,
You look good.
So we're gonna. Okay. So we're in the same place.
Yeah.
We are doing what we're supposed to do, being socially distanced.
Distant. Yeah.
Yes. We are masked up in various gear.
Yeah. I could get super masked, I guess.
You could if you
Not that
wanted.
not that anyone on
Not that anyone can see you.
Instagram or
but-
hey Shelly, or
Hi,
they
Shelley.
can see us, but
Um,
we are.
we are.
I'm like fully done up right
There you
now.
go. There you go. Chandra is double doing it. Double duty. Yes. Just being a good citizen.
That's right.
So we're going to try and work our way around the theme of art and activism,
Yes.
because we live in pretty intense times right now.
Yeah.
And, justifiably so, right? So art, I think, is part of that whole process, I think.
Absolutely.
If we
I
talk
think,
about that.
and I think this is something that
Oops.
is coming at a very good time.
Mm-hmm.
I think for everyone, because not only is it a great way to share a message and make a point, maybe to the powers that be, but it helps you get that sort of feeling out, that frustration or that anger, that message that is just like welling up inside. And it's a way to express that and share it.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think art is a really good mechanism. I have to cough because air conditioning. Art is a very good means, I think, of helping us sort of reflect on what's happening, but also speak about what's happening, express ourselves in terms of outrage, in terms of a sense of needing justice to happen for Black, Indigenous people of color at the moment, right? I mean, States and Canada, both a lot of injustices, both countries built on stolen land, so and genocide. So there needs to be a reckoning, and there needs to be reconciliation, and there needs to be active healing. Virus that is very different, very difficult to deal with. In the midst of all that, just so many atrocities have come to light. Injustices towards people who are Black, Indigenous, people of color in general, in the North Americas for sure, right, in Central America.
Yep.
So, and it's all coming to a head, I think, now because of, I think the lockdown helps in a certain way.
I think the lockdown has helped. I also think that having some of the most ignorant white men in power has helped also.
Yes, if you look at the
That's
countries,
a personal opinion though,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, but I think too, history will reveal that if we take a look at the countries that are having like the hardest time right now, dealing with coronavirus and just on that level, right? It seems to be countries that are being led by autocrats, right? Regardless of race, it seems, but still, for the most part, it's the white. I'm thinking of like India. Yeah, they're having a hard time, but person of color. But
that's true.
But then you have Brazil, right, which is very similar to our friend in the States. So, yeah, so here we are in a border town.
Yeah.
At an interesting juncture in history, and we're in the museum, which is interesting as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I was just noticing.
Yes, we are in the Skylight Gallery on the second floor, and I don't know if we can. I think if folks were to come and visit, this is probably the area that speaks a lot to creation of the city. I'm just kind of looking around at some of the of what it was like for the First Nations people. There's a display over in a corner of what the housing was like at that time for settlers, what they perhaps built while they were here, the rapids, that sort of thing. So it's an interesting. I think the Skylight does speak a lot to the history of Sault Ste. Marie and colonial relations. And behind us, there's actually, we're looking at the garden. We're looking at, maybe I can show you, show people. Hopefully people don't mind. We're looking at the Garden River play that was held. Oh. Yeah. It was the Hiawatha play that was put on by, I think, young adults and youth of Garden River. And I don't know what year.
No, it doesn't say.
It doesn't actually say the year. Oh, that's weird.
That is.
Yeah, but it was, July to September 5th at some point in time. So interesting that this is where we are. And this is the whole place. Here we go. Oh, there's Chandler waiting high. But yeah, no, there's a log cabin, I think, over there. Yeah. So anyway, so this is Skylight Gallery, and so a place full of history. And I think interesting times to be in, an interesting place to be in, and to speak about activism and the history of people who have struggled.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I can dig it.
Yeah. And how do we use art as a tool to help with the struggle? Sorry, keep hitting our. Yeah, it's kind of new to the whole face shield thing, man. It's like whoa, it's a trip, but valuable. So
I was really excited about this theme, this kind of way of using art, because I love collage.
Okay.
And I really like to use magazines like Vice magazine.
Okay.
And Adbusters magazine.
I wonder if we can see a little bit with our.
And kind of like more political magazines.
Great.
And I just thought it was really interesting. Some of the magazines that I ended up bringing are some of them about art and activism.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to flip through some of these and find some images that I think are powerful and sort of speak to what's going on in the world right now. And and
Yeah.
see what comes
Wonderful.
my way.
For sure. I mean, that's all we can do, right? We're
Yeah.
hoping that folks back at home are also have art materials out and are working on projects that as the spirit moves them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the whole goal behind the HIVE anyway, right?
Yes.
Is to be very self-directed about what you do, but about doing it together in community. I know we can't actively talk amongst ourselves, but the fact that we are here together online is still a gathering, is still a very meaningful way of being together. And if you have comments, please, we do have a few people who have commented. Hello, Becky B. Hello. So we can kind of sort of access, we can't really respond just yet just because we have our stuff set up in ways that are just too hard to type, but there will be responding after. If you give us a direct question, we'll try to read it off and respond verbally. Ooh,
Yes.
That way. Sorry, I keep hitting my.
There's also an option if you go on the YouTube stream.
Okay.
I believe you can comment there as well.
Ah, okay. And then would we be able to answer later?
It would be easier to type an answer there, but also we can answer verbally.
Okay. Oh, because you have a keyboard.
I have a keyboard,
Okay.
so I would be able to type.
So Chandler will be able to see what is happening on YouTube.
Yeah.
Interesting. So this is our first time trying all
Yeah.
the things at once. So we
That's it.
thank you for your patience.
Experiment.
Experiment, right?
Yeah.
So sorry. So Chandler, you're going to work on a collage.
Yes.
That speaks to you about activism.
Yes.
And I think I'm going to work on some watercolor paper, but without paints. I think I'm just going to use, I have a collection of drawing material. I do have watercolor markers, but I think I'm going to draw, I think, and just focus on the idea of what it is to be an activist, what is activism, what are action words, actions in terms of art making. And I also wanted to say to folks that if you have gone to our Instagram page, you may have noticed over the last week a number of images that have been posted. There was, I started off with Rebecca Belmore, right? I got her name right? Yes, Rebecca Belmore. Then there was Christy Belcourt and Joanne Robertson. So, and Joanne is an old and good friend of ours. We all worked on the Art Speaks project together in 2017. And she is a water walker warrior. I think is probably a water warrior. She's very much a warrior. But she has written the book The Water Walker, which is the story of Josephine Mandeman and Josephine's very hard work to have water, the importance of water, brought to the fore. And her, if I understand correctly, her grand niece, I think it is, Autumn Pelche, is taking up the reins now that Josephine has passed on to the other world. And Joanne has been there all along, right? She's the person who has been the troubleshooter, who has kept the water walkers on the road safe, found accommodations for them, all long distance. It's astonishing.
Yes.
When we were in Art Speaks together in 2017, it was absolutely amazing to watch Joanne function, taking care of these folks on the road, all digitally. It was really great. Yeah. And Christy Belcourt is probably known to many for her also water protection work.
Yep.
And she does these wonderful, enormous paintings that are based on Métis beading designs.
Oh, they're so beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful and stunning, and speak a lot to traditional heritage and what it means to be Métis. Also, she is of mixed heritage, and so that very important work that she does. And then there's Rebecca Belmore, who does a lot of work on identity and what it means to be a woman, Aboriginal woman, an Indigenous woman in contemporary society, and about the discrimination and the racism and how to combat that, how not to live it so much as comment on it, and create works that speak to the injustice, and in that speaking, be able to find one's voice and one's strength, and one's ability to say, I am not my stereotype.
Right.
So it's three very powerful powerful women.
Yeah.
So hopefully you've had a chance to take a look at those images and maybe do some research on them. And then here today, I'm just going to work, I think, on a drawing of some sort with some color and black pen and just kind of see what happens in terms of my own sort of inspiration with all this. Again, because we're on Instagram and Facebook, and I'm thinking YouTube is just going to keep going, right, until we stop it. Right?
Yep.
And Facebook is just going to keep going until we stop it. And Instagram is probably going to stop at about the 50-minute mark. So so when it's about 55 minutes on Facebook, I think Instagram is going to end, and then we're just going to upload and start again. So for those of you, we are here for the 2 hours, and please stay with us. And again, at the end of our time together, please send us pictures of your images so that we can post them online. We'd really like to have a record of what people are doing and how they're responding to what we're doing. And if you have ideas for different hives that you'd like to see, you never know. With the way things are going, we might be able to start doing some indoors or at least outside here somewhere.
Yeah.
Like there's a big parking lot.
There is a big parking lot.
So if we can get a tent
And there's
up or
lots
something.
of tables here.
Yeah, and there's lots of tables.
Lots of
And
tables.
lots of young summer students who like to schlop.
They
So
love to
I'm
move
sure
tables.
they will move tables outside for us. So we are going to hopefully capitalize on that.
Yeah.
And so stay tuned. We will continue to try and keep you engaged in what we're doing.
Stay accessible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, because even as we get closer to reopening in phase 3, I don't know, I'm kind of nervous about it all. So I'm sure other people are too.
Yeah, definitely.
So as is Chandra. So as she just said. So and maybe some of you are too. But we're going to do what we can and try to support each other. And that's what
my kids are still stuck at home.
Your kids are still. Oh, what you mean once it opens, like?
Oh,
is that what
well,
you
I
mean?
haven't let them
Yeah.
really go anywhere.
No, I don't think you can. It's
I see
unfortunate.
kids playing and
I wonder.
and at the grocery stores and the mall. And
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. I wonder.
I mean, you just have to make the best choice you can with the information that you have.
That is true. Like, I mean, one could say we are in the Sioux.
Mm-hmm.
The Sioux has had, fairly good action. We've got a pretty strong health unit. We've, I think, for the most part, sort of listened to health unit protocols.
Yep.
So, which is, brings us to this point where we've only had 24 active cases at any time, no deaths, knock on wood, right?
Yeah.
So there's that. Yes, we still have a lot of tests to go through, and we'll see what happens with those. But as we hang tight and wait and see, life will go on. And we just got to be smart, I think, about how we choose to engage with the society, culture around us. So.
Yeah, it's life changing for the close talkers, I think.
I think. And so the giggling starts. Yes. Yes, close talkers. You hear us? Change your ways. Okay.
Oh, it's time.
Yeah, it's time. Yeah.
Back up.
Yeah. No more spitting on me.
No.
That's what's nice about a shield, is that you can, it stops the spit within 2 feet. So it's good. But yet you don't want to be you don't want to be too close.
It lets you know if you're a spitter too.
It does. Yes. I can register spit on my shield. You're too close. Yeah. Not good. Not good.
Or if you yourself are one.
Yes. Well, if inside of your shield is covered in spit. Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah.
COVID humor, people. COVID humor.
Well, you've got to have a sense of humor. It's
Yes.
very serious, and my
Yes.
heart goes out to all
Yes.
the people and friends and families who are affected by this
Oh my God.
directly and
Yes.
indirectly. And
Yeah.
But you still got to have a sense of humor.
Oh yeah. Yes. There needs to be compassion for everyone out there. And
I've been stuck at home with 2 bratty kids.
a little extra dose of compassion for you.
You got to laugh.
And you gotta laugh. Anything that keeps you sane, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. I guess schooling is over for them. For now.
So,
does it end, or do they school through the summer? Like,
oh, it's
no.
over.
No, schooling stops, right?
Schooling stops.
It
Yeah.
does, yeah.
I know that a lot of people with the Algoma District School Board have signed up for summer school
Mm-hmm.
to continue through the summer, more than usual.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do that to my children.
Okay. But that would
Or
be
my
online. That would
Yeah,
be
it's
online.
all online.
Yeah.
I found it kind of torturous. I worked for a school board.
Yes, yeah, and you were doing that online.
And I did that online, and
Yeah.
I mean, the kids really needed support.
Yeah.
And kids who need even more support, just it's very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that my kids had had enough. So
Understandable. Yeah, and there's something to be said for life skills, right?
yes,
Yeah, not all learning happens in a book, so
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
yeah, that's what's going on. I was just thinking too the other day too. I don't know what vintage people are who are watching and listening.
Mhm.
But I remember the. I think I probably already said this to you before. I remember the other pandemic that I remember living through the HIV/AIDS pandemic.
I was just about to
80s.
bring this up because I want you to talk about this.
And you were like that was in the 80s, and I was just finishing art school, going off to university, and so we're talking 84, 86,
Yeah.
90.
Oh,
yeah.
that's when we realized in '91.
Yes, 1991.
I was 6.
You were 6, yay,
Yeah.
and I was 30.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, so we'll let that sink in.
I think that makes our relationship really special.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah. And it's interesting too, because we both lived through pivotal times in history.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
And what I wanted to say about was at that time, one of the biggest sort of acts of activism was the creation of the Names Project. I don't know how many folks out there remember that, but the Names Project, and I think yes, Nikki was 4. Yeah,
Yeah,
rub it in, Nick. Rub it in. And but the Names Project was a response made by individuals who were losing friends, partners, family due to HIV/AIDS, the arrival of HIV/AIDS, and the inaction on the part of governments that refused to do research, that refused to put money into medical treatments, basically because the individuals that it was claimed that HIV/AIDS targeted were homosexual men for the most part, right? It was all, and because it was seen to be a marginalized group, the government, and again I'm talking primarily of the American government, just allowed these folks who were discovering they were infected and were dealing with this horrendous slew of issues that came along with the breaking down of one's immune system, basically, right? A very slow, torturous death at that time. Now, luckily, it took many years, but we have a vaccine that works more or less, kind of, sort of, and just more knowledge as to how to extend one's lifespan and live with HIV/AIDS. It's no longer a death sentence.
That's right. Yeah.
Back in the 80s and
You
90s.
can live with it.
Yeah. Now it's a chronic illness.
Yeah.
And it's something you can live with. So the Names Project was born out of a sense of, yes, activism, but a sense of collective grief, which I think is very important. I think that's part of, too, what's happening with coronavirus, the pandemic, social justice movements at the moment right now. There's this collective grief is fueling a collective rage as well, I think. And so the Names Project, folks were given, were asked to create, I think it was 2 feet by 3 feet. That was the size of your canvas, let's say, or your square of fabric.
Yeah.
And you could do a monument, like a testimony, memorial, sort of like a memorial square that would basically just tell the world how much you loved and miss the person who has died from HIV/AIDS. And so these huge quilt speaks, because ultimately what was made was the AIDS quilt, is what it was called ultimately, and it was just so huge that it would fill the whole, in front of Washington, in Washington D.C. There's like I can't remember the actual name of it, but it's where they do the inauguration, and they have like this huge sort of reflecting pool in the big. So it would fill that whole area that was flattened out, kind of thing. They could fill that whole area multiple times over, from what I understand. Football stadiums, it could cover the whole, all the swatches put together could cover entire football stadiums multiple times. So there was such an outpouring of grief and collective, sort of collective love for those that they had lost, and collective anger towards the governments, that they created the Names Project and the AIDS quilt as a way basically of shaming the government in terms of its inaction and its downright discrimination. Yeah. Right? I mean, it's a health issue, a health problem, and here we are. People have been discriminated because of what was perceived to be marginalized behavior, right? Like homophobia, drug addiction, and women too were part of this as well. Women were stigmatized as well.
It's assumptions made about people who practice those things.
That's right. Yep. Yeah, totally. And so I wonder too how much of the inaction that's happening in other countries like the States, in which there's just so much death. And if you sort of look at the populations that are targeted, it makes you wonder the inaction on the part of the government, right? Like, who are they really trying to wipe out, right? A lot of communities, people of color.
Yes.
A lot of communities.
People who don't have access to health care.
Access to health care. So the essential worker who is poverty stricken, who has to work in order to get their Medicaid, in order to be able to take care of themselves, and then meanwhile, contracts this horrendous disease, right? So, so the injustice.
Originally they had to pay for tests.
Yes. Did you hear that? To go for a coronavirus test, it was $199 American.
Originally, is it still?
I don't know. I just heard this one Canadian truck driver who was surprised at a clinic to hear that 6 people walked in, 6 people walked out. Nobody was able to get the test because they didn't have 200 American to pay for the test that we basically get for free. So all these injustices, right? And so so here we are talking about that. Sorry for things can get dark, they can get bleak.
I don't even feel like it's bleak. It's a lot going on. And I feel a lot for it.
Yeah. It's emotionally daunting.
It is.
What we're going through, right? And I wonder how many folks who are listening to us right now, hopefully, we're not saying things that are too much and too far from your own truth and your own experience, right? That's what I'm hoping. So it's crazy times.
Well, I think that's why I'm so happy to come and do Art Speaks with you in these archives, these cyber archives, because it forces me to sit down and focus and be mindful of what I'm doing. And like this evening, I'll be able to walk away from here and feel like I put some of that energy or frustration into something positive.
I feel the same way. When the pandemic was called, right, it was like March 17th or something, and we were supposed to run a hive on the 18th for Nicole Dybel, actually, for the Fishbowl Festival, and unfortunately that got completely canned, right? We couldn't obviously do one in public, so Will and I set up in the art room, and for an hour tried to figure out how to do this online, and it was kind of goofy, but we survived it, and it felt good to be able to do something proactive and something that we knew we could sort of do in a sustainable kind of way. So, and the very fact that we've gone through March, April, May, June, July, so like 4 months, 5 months of being apart, and now we can actually like we've talked on the screen together, but to actually be in the same room
Yeah,
is pretty much a big blessing now. So
absolutely.
we're pretty happy,
Mhm.
pretty jazzed about being together. And I gotta say, it feels good to be in your company once again and
Yeah.
to be focusing on something and not just talking to myself in the kitchen, which is what would usually happen.
I can see that.
Yeah, and being part of the Art Hive does help because I find that the people who do come to the Art Hive they work, they come, they work, they do, and that's I think what is really great about doing the Art Hive, whether online or here at the museum. It's a good atmosphere just to do and be, and not have to make excuses or explain yourself.
What does the Facebook Live feed say?
You say, oh, we got a few people. We have Denise Boston. Hello, Denise. She is from Breton House, one of our sponsors.
Okay.
They're hoping to get the house open again, and hopefully they'll have ladies back at the house by the end of the summer, early fall, we hope.
Oh my goodness, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that was a shocker. I don't think they even realized either until suddenly you had to think about it, right? You can't have a household of 8 people that you're responsible for and a staff all living together, but how do you make sure at the time, because I don't even think testing was all that possible or rigorous, and you can't,
Well, how do you manage it?
yeah, like how do you, and you can't really share bathrooms, and it was just
the logistics of
just
it.
the logistics, right? They had a new director, so she had to figure out what the heck was happening. So there's that. So it was a complete, so they did I think what was probably the sanest thing, and they said, okay, sorry, we have to regroup, and we'll get back to you, kind of thing.
I just cannot imagine the loss for so many people that depend on programs like that.
Yeah.
Same with programs up at the hospital.
Yeah.
And I feel like, people who depend on like mental health and addictions programming have really suffered, I think.
Well, I think it's been a really tough time, especially, for people who need services, right? The services have had to go online for a lot, like telehealth, I think is the word, or phone calls, right? Or just not happen at all, right? And we know,
well, I attend a DBT group.
Oh yeah.
Up at the hospital.
Did they do it?
And no. It's just been.
Oh, they just stopped it.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's what I was wondering.
They do like a phone call.
Okay.
You can do it over the phone, but it's like a group
call
thing.
Okay.
So during this quarantine, while we're all at home, it's one-on-one over the phone. And it's not the same thing.
Right, because you don't get the group dynamic.
You don't get the group dynamic, and for me, that was really key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, for sure.
That's what I was really benefiting from.
Right. There's something to be said for that. Yeah.
But I really recommend that group to anyone.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
And is that something you have to be referred to, or can you just?
I imagine, you have to be referred.
Yeah,
but I think that dialectic behavior.
Yeah. Dialectic behavior
therapy.
Yeah.
These are just skills anyone should be using in their day-to-day life.
So for folks who don't know what DBT is, right? It's a sort of challenging and changing your thinking patterns kind of thing, right? And dealing with the symbolism, does it not?
Well, dialectic is acknowledging, believing, accepting that two truths can exist at one time.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
That's the dialectic.
That's the dialect. Right. Yeah.
And it just teaches you skills in distress tolerance and interpersonal effectiveness, emotional regulation. And there's skills everybody.
These are skills everyone needs to master.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, and actually, like self-regulation through art making is one of the key we don't think about it,
Mhm.
but art making, that is what it does
Yes.
naturally, whether you're in a therapy program or not. It helps you calm down, helps you focus.
It's a mindfulness activity.
Yes, key right there.
So
Mindfulness.
so mindfulness is the root of
Yeah.
DBT.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of so mindfulness is another
Yeah,
another
it is,
skill
yeah.
that you learn in DBT.
Yeah,
So you
exactly.
learn to be in wise mind, learning the difference between the emotional mind and
Mhm.
the logical mind and walking that middle path.
That makes sense.
And when it's okay
Mhm.
to be an emotional mind, when that is suited, and when it's suited to be more logical.
Yeah.
And when you should make decisions and when you shouldn't.
Yeah, totally. Right?
Yeah.
And so I think definitely that is something that probably kids should be taught from day one.
Oh,
Like, why are we not even like addressing this in the system, in the school system?
yeah, it could be taught as part of
Yeah.
the curriculum at school.
Sure. Oh yeah. I was just reading the other day too. There's something about, I think it was maybe Denmark. So and they were talking about in school. It's not so much the IQ that they sort of aim for or test for, but it's the EQ. So it's the emotional quotient that is being taught for, nurtured, supported. So in the thought that a compassionate individual, a person who understands their emotions, who understands themselves, will understand others, and so therefore will have an easier time or better way of working within society, contributing to society, helping just helping build stronger relationships in that regard, as opposed to always being book focused and fact focused and all that kind of stuff, right? Which has its place, but not necessarily.
I know a couple of kids that have been.
Don't we all?
I mean, I'm not going to name names.
Let's not be doing that. But yes.
Look at this image.
Yeah, I think we can.
Can we see that?
Can we see that on Instagram? Are we looking at? Is that?
Who is that?
That's not number 45, is it? Oh yeah, that is. Okay.
Anything on
That is recent.
Oh yeah.
That is called Trump Rally by Aaron Johnson. Yeah, I would think that sort of hits our art and activism. May not be something that you'd show at a rally, but it's certainly something you'd think about going to a rally.
Or something you might paint after.
Yes, I have a feeling that's what's going on there. Yeah, it is interesting how we are. We try so much, like we are kind of held captive by our governments on a certain level, but only I think that sense of being held captive is if they are not acting in our best interest, right? And so.
Well, we often feel that they're not.
Yeah, whether we are in a fairly balanced democracy or not, right? Like it's, so it's always a struggle, and unfortunately, some countries really the struggle is far more real and far more serious than others. But definitely for different pockets of people in each country, right? There are struggles.
Oh my.
So be mindful of how people have struggles of all sorts.
There's a few really great examples in here.
Yeah, sure. So that's always a great thing too, to find sometimes literature, magazines, images that relate to concepts or relate to issues that you're passionate about.
Yes.
Just sort of use them in your art. I think a lot of artists do that. A lot of activist art is very politically focused. But I mean, any climate change issues as well, right? So I mean, that's, climate change is quite a political thing as well.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we really need to be able to act out and act up and get what we need to say out and hope to create some change.
I have to say I've been posting a lot on Facebook lately.
Oh yeah, I've noticed. Good for you.
But it seems like it's the only place to be heard.
Well, it's a weird thing too, because Facebook is so big and weird and and like, not to say that you people are weird, just saying that Facebook itself as an entity is a bizarre construct, right? that we're in space, waving, saying hi, doing stuff, and you're on the other end, maybe puttering in your kitchen or working on some knitting, and here we are interacting in a very
well, I mean, it's wonderful, and
Yeah,
I'm
it
actually
is, yeah.
grateful for the platform to get those thoughts out. And
Yeah.
hopefully, someone reads them and it resonates with them, or
Yeah.
maybe they learn something they didn't know, or it makes them think about something they wouldn't have otherwise thought about.
Yeah, exactly.
It also sometimes shows you who your friends really are.
Yeah, then there's that. Or who just happened to read something and respond, like you don't know if everyone's read it. As we grimace in that weird face that we make. Yeah. I know, it's a weird...
So it's interesting times all over the place.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, I guess this is what it is to be alive, truly alive. Yeah, we're lucky. We're the lucky ones. We can do this.
Yeah, I'm grateful to be a part of it.
Yeah.
I'm grateful that I was raised in such a liberal household.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. Both lucky in that capacity. Mine was a bit more, not that liberal, but it was still, for all its good and bad, supportive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that was the other, so this all kind of brought me to this idea of what the museum is doing.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a project. They have a project that they just announced. It was in Sioux today. It's called Recreating Our Community, and it's very much about what are your reflections, what are your responses to the ongoing pandemic. How have you been reacting? Have you been making stuff? Have you been not making stuff? Have you been hiding out? Have you been cleaning everything that you see? Just what is the manifestation of all this time that we've spent? Presumably, separated and for the most part quarantined until recently.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an ongoing thing that Katie Huxon, that's her main project that she's sort of overseeing here at the museum.
I love that idea.
Yeah, so we'll be sure to post info about that. And next week, Katie and I will do like a 1-hour intro demo online just to get people started, I think, on it on the 14th.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, the 14th from 1 to 2. So we'll advertise that, and then I was thinking on the 22nd we might actually work on that together maybe.
Mm-hmm.
They have kits and things, not kits, like packages of materials and templates and stuff that folks can work with. Yeah. If they so choose. And so on the 22nd, I think we'll work on that a bit more. And then we're hoping in August. We just got to see what the health units say and all that kind of good stuff. But we might actually do like an in-person demo thing, like probably by appointment, probably tiny group, small groups, so to lower any kind of chance for COVID issues.
Is there still a limit? Is it 10 still?
I don't I think here at the museum, I think they're maintaining 10. I'm not sure if it's 10 including staff. Okay. I don't know exactly. Yeah. I think we're all just kind of playing it by ear as we go. Yeah. So, and I think on the 15th of July, I think if I understand correctly, emergency measures will be changed. So who knows? We'll see what happens. Just in case you disappear Instagram, we will come back. But I think we're good for another 10 minutes. Okay. Oh. Tell you one thing about wearing a shield, it stops you from touching your eyes, from picking your nose. You can't even drink from a bottle of water. But anyway.
No, barely.
it's like,
yeah.
You just keep bashing into it. Yeah. So that's good. Keeps you mindful.
I like the idea of knowing what other people have been doing.
Yes. I think that's what's so wonderful about the project that the museum is. And kind of here at Artspeaks, what we've been doing, even like the online hives, are kind of all part of the overall document. Mm-hmm. It's all stuff that the museum will be able to hold, and because they're online, right, they'll be able to take excerpts perhaps, from some of the hives and put them online as well.
Yeah.
So,
Very cool.
Yeah. So So I think.
Did you do a lot of cleaning?
No. Oh, did I say that out loud and fast enough? Yeah. No. I've been taking courses.
Yeah, good.
And those just like online webinars, right? And but interesting is that we talked about in this one. It's trauma-informed expressive arts therapies, and talking about people's responses to trauma, and which is quite seen in terms of response to the pandemic, right? So, and I'll probably get most of this wrong, but I can kind of, I read it all down and I think I remember it, and I go to say it again, I'm like, I guess I should read it again, but there's so.
Share away.
Here we go. So take it with a grain of salt, but that some folks, in terms of response to trauma, of which we're talking about the pandemic, there's the mobilization, folks who are suddenly in this constant kind of instead of freezing, they're fighting and flying kind of thing. So they're cleaning, they're doing, they can't stop. They just go. So that's one response to a pandemic. Another response is immobilization, so the freezing.
Yeah.
So suddenly you're like watching so much Netflix you don't know what to do with yourself.
Yeah.
And that can even go from sort of constantly watching TV or just not attending to certain things, having a hard time getting out of bed, all the way to starting to believe that the virus isn't real. And so now that I think about what so that could be a trauma response, is that people get to this point, like to the far end of the continuum, where they're like, they downplay the severity of what's happening, the virus isn't real, that kind of thing, which might speak to a lot.
All too much.
Yeah, so they're overwhelmed, and so the system just can't take it, so it's like part of the shutdown freeze, which might explain the anti-maskers, the folks in the States who are lobbying, about it being
it's like there's no
conspiracy
way
and stuff
it
and
could
things.
be this bad.
And yet it's horrendous, right?
Yeah.
So there's that, and then there's also the whole grief response too. That we are sort of constantly grieving what we had, because everyone has been talking about life before COVID. There's life before, there's life during. We don't know what life after is going to look like.
No.
And that is the grief, right? All that is grieving.
The unknown.
Because we don't know.
Yeah.
So, so there's so compassion and kindness, even though some of these behaviors by ourselves and others might get on the nerves. To be as compassionate as possible is helpful.
Right.
To be as patient as possible is helpful. And to make lots of art.
Make lots of art.
Is really helpful. And like to crochet all you can, to knit all you can, to do some sewing, to make stuffed toys, who knows, whatever.
I'm really thankful for all the people making homemade masks for people.
Yeah, that was an amazing, we have to say, Gubby Dulesky and the whole Days for Girls core group, right? Just a wonderful sort of rallying of the troops. And so these are mobilizers, right? This is how they deal with trauma. They mobilize. And so these are the folks that get together, make all these masks, are keeping everyone protected and protecting themselves and protecting others, and taking it very seriously and being very proactive, right? So, that was a wonderful thing to see. And I think, hope I don't get this number wrong, but I think in the end, because there were multiple groups, there was Gubbies, but then there was like a whole bunch of other groups as well. So there's a lot of folks. 14,000 masks were made.
What?
Yeah. So the Sioux apparently is like 75,000 plus area, maybe 100,000 in total in terms of district and stuff. And they made 14,000 masks.
That's a lot of masks.
It's a lot of masks, yeah. Yeah. And so they were giving them out at the grocery stores. I mean, they made enough to make sure that healthcare had all they needed.
Right?
Yeah. Because we're not talking N95s, we're talking fabric wear things, right?
Yeah.
And so they were able to make so many, which is awesome. So, and folks who probably never even thought or knew how to make them Now there's no excuse not to have a mask because they were giving them up for free, left, right, and center. So what a community service.
My friend Melissa made my family
Nice.
a set of 5
Wonderful.
for my partner, my children, and my mother.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is great.
it was so generous. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. And then that's the thing. If you've had stuff lying around and wanted to use it up, we when it first hit, there was a young woman who was fresh out of work because she couldn't work as a hairdresser anymore. So she became an entrepreneur and was selling them, making them and selling them, nice quality, cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, geez, let's at least support someone who is taking it upon themselves to do a proper job and everything. So no fault there. I thought that was great.
Mm-hmm.
And very grateful for her. So yeah, we've had masks since March. So
Wonderful.
yeah, so it's been nice. Still weird. I remember going to the grocery store and people just kind of being leery.
Of you.
Yeah, because I had a
Wearing a
mask and they
mask.
didn't, and I was like,
Well, at that time,
yeah,
it was sick people wearing masks.
yeah, and it's like, well, yeah, no, I'm not sick, and you get groceries, and we should all be wearing masks. So
I think we were still in the hospital then with Minkai.
yes,
Because when was
that was March? Well,
when did the
it became pandemic March 11th, I think, on the Wednesday, 12th. Wednesday, yeah, because the 12th we had the last concert we ever went to was at Sioux College, was Ainsley Simpson that we brought up, and then that was it. Everything was closed on the 13th, no more school.
Well, we were on holiday. They were
Yeah,
on
that was
break.
the beginning of spring break for you guys as well as the college.
Mhm.
And then the 17th is when emergency measures went into place, province-wide.
That's when we were in the hospital. We didn't even know.
Oh, that emergency measures had been called.
Yeah, we didn't even know.
Wow, crazy.
And when we left, just for the record, she was in the hospital for diabetes, not COVID.
No, yeah, no, poor kid had diabetes. Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay, she still has it, but she's better now.
Oh, we got 180 projects on there.
Hello. Hi.
Yeah. So when we left,
yeah,
the hospital was a ghost town.
Oh, you were there how many days? You were there a few days.
5 days.
Wow. Yes.
Yeah.
So you were there right as the emergency measures hit.
Yeah.
So March 17th to the 21st.
It was a normal hospital when we got there.
Not when you left.
And then we were in peds for 5 days.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
We had no idea what was going on.
Like a scene from The Walking Dead, unfortunately.
And no one told us either.
Yeah. That's like the opening scene from a lot of horror movies.
I will tell you though, when we got, what do they do when they tell you you can go?
Released.
Released.
Discharged.
Discharged.
Sorry, not released. Yeah.
One of the nurses.
Yeah.
Was saying goodbye to me and talked to me this close to my face.
Woo, you didn't get the memo.
For like probably 7 minutes, just talking.
About?
Just about
diabetes?
Diabetes and
how to manage it?
Taking care and what a great job I was doing.
And then I left. Shield then?
And then I left and found out about all the lockdown.
And then you're like, I'm not going anywhere for the next 2 weeks, just to make sure.
I was like, get her spit out of my mouth.
Oh, the Sue. You're lovable and weird.
I thought that was hilarious.
What can I do? Oh, Katie Hexon is like responding to things for us here on the Facebooks. Thank you, Katie. Oh, yes, Katie has confirmed we need to be under 10, including the staff at any one time.
Oh.
So thank goodness it's a huge place because people can squirrel away, which is kind of neat.
I can't read that one. Something, yes, July 14th.
Oh, okay, so yes, so July 14th and August 12th. Okay. So August 12th is the one we're going to attempt by registration only, a small kind of demo. So we're going to see what happens in person. We're going to see. And if it can't happen because of health whatever, we won't, but we're going to try to see what health unit
advises. For now it looks like it'll happen, right?
Yeah, that's what we're hoping. And we're just trying to make it, offer offer some respite and to help people to express how things have been going for them, right? Like we acknowledge that it's probably been a tough go for a lot of folks.
Oh, I would imagine so.
And it's important to kind of express that in very sort of positive, productive kind of ways, I think.
I think about single parents.
Yes, oh, for sure.
With like no family.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I'm doing an act out, make change happen, act out kind of poster type thing that maybe we'll get some color on this at some point. So
we're chatty.
Yeah, we are. It makes these things more interesting. And oh, here we go. No, we're still going. Okay. I thought we were going to lose Instagram in a second, but no.
I've got just a few little cutouts going on.
Nice.
That I'm.
There we go.
Sort of.
You kind of see what she's doing here. Yeah.
Collecting.
Yeah. So again, this is a nice method of doing things, right? Is she going to be like your background in total? Do you think?
I'm going to cut her out.
Oh, she's going to get cut out. Okay.
She'll get cut out, and then these images will be refined, so they'll be cut close.
Right.
So I think in the background will be sort of injustices.
Okay.
And like the abrupt sort of violence and unseemly things. And then I was thinking in the foreground will be more peaceful images of strength and peace. And
in the so when she talks foreground, right, she's talking here in front of. Background would be behind this figure, and any other kind of figures might be part of that background as well, or next to.
And I see her as like a very strong individual.
Yeah. And it's interesting too, her eyes are closed. Is she thinking about these things? Is she reacting? Is she emotionally pulling in from all this, right? Is she trying to sort of regulate the anger and the sadness and the grief all at once? Like, is she trying to bring that all together? Like, what is she dreaming it? You know?
I almost feel like she's taking all of that hate and anger from behind and like using that power to move forward.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yes, I mean these are our impressions of it at this time.
Well, I think we've lost.
Oh, have we lost this? We're losing Instagram. Here we go. Gonna move with some deliberation here. So we're gonna see what we can do. Okay. So this is good. So now we get to see me in action. So we get to share.
They could always come to YouTube.
Go to YouTube. Let's go to YouTube now, folks. And we're going to do next. And we're going to do. Oops. Yeah, this is the long part. It's always like when I'm doing this at home, it's like this lag as I type it in. And I misspell things. Then I gotta save it.
I found a really beautiful artist in this name. Oh, I can't find her.
In there? So we're going to post that. So this is great. Now Instagram actually allows you to post what you do live before you just lost it all. So now it's getting posted. So it's going to come up in the Art Speaks feed.
Oh, good.
We're going to go back to being live.
Oh, that's good.
And now we can actually film the second part, which before we could never do. Before we could do the second part, but you never knew if you ever got to save the first part, or you'd save it and you didn't know what would happen to it.
And so we're back.
Yeah. So we're back.
And Nikki's back.
There we go.
And Shelly's back.
And we're back. There we go.
Oh, I'm glad they came back.
Hi. Hi, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. So yeah, so they're back. And the other thing too, I just wanted to say to folks, if you are going to do collage too, that often it's a nice idea to have either some sort of image or some sort of blanket of text or something as a background underneath to kind of hold all your images together, so that you don't have to deal with the white space of the cardboard or the.
Right. So actually, most of my collage work, I choose a background and it often influences what I do,
Right. Yeah.
and I work around that background.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, I'm finding images that fit sort of an idea that I have.
Right.
But I work directly on like a piece of, like this. This is something that I would use as a background. Just like a nice big piece that you can maybe manipulate into using in different ways. So this could be like a hill, and then you can use the movement of the light for something. There's something in the middle here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like things like this.
Oh yeah, lots of possibilities.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it can also go the other way too. Like
Oh yeah, you can use it
any
any
direction,
you want.
right? That's the difference people like. Yeah, you can go any direction at all, and then just it all depends on what is on layered on top. Right?
Yeah.
It just offers a.
This actually might be a great background for her.
It might, yeah, because of the sense of flames and fire and that kind of thing too. And it's the same thing when you're painting. Like a painting often, well, except for watercolors, but an acrylic, an oil works better. Mixed media pieces often work better if you have like a tinted surface that you're working on, that kind of thing. For watercolor and pen work, it's the white of the page is your background. Kind of
Now I have made some collages without a background.
Yeah.
So I would have taken, you know, this sort of center character, cut her out, and then glued the cutout fish onto her.
Right.
And then the horse, I would cut out onto her. And then I would just have those three things come together.
Yeah. Yep.
And then maybe I wouldn't be able to find a background for her right away, and I would keep her.
Yep.
And then I would eventually find like the perfect thing for her.
And that's the thing, right? Because because that's part of the process. True, is the hunting and the pecking and deciding what's going to work and what isn't, and not to be. Some things you can be in a rush and just do.
Yep.
And some things are going to take a while, and that's okay.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And that's part of the process, which is why we often work in art media. I mean, that's why art making can be such a self-regulating, meditative, mindful act. Is that you're able to just make your micro decisions as you go. Yes, you're gonna get frustrated. I always find that's the thing. Like when I was teaching in school and stuff, and at the college and things like that, and kids would just be like, "Oh, this is so frustrating." It's like, well, yeah, because it's work.
Well, and there's limitations there too, right? Yeah. When you're in school, especially.
Yes, yeah.
People, there's time limits.
Yeah.
There's limited materials.
Yeah, definitely.
So I can relate.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, you were there. Yeah. And that's the thing too, right? Is that often, like even for us right now, we're engaging, we're talking. We haven't seen each other in months, and so we're gonna chat all the way through. But if we were, for folks at home, if you're just on your own. Oh, see, something has gone trouble playing with, but see, we're still on.
Oh.
I don't know what the heck is going on. And we're back. Yeah, sorry folks, that was Facebook. I decided to do something funky. But that's the state, like for full engagement, full sense of the mindful meditative aspect of artworking, one just needs to work alone without engaging verbally with other people.
I'm finding that hard to do at home.
Oh, well, yeah, I think
Hawk is home all the time.
Pardon?
Hawk is home.
Oh, your little guy.
All the time.
He's home buddy. Oh, and he's a talker.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. I live with a talker.
But it is hard to do it mindfully there.
Yeah, the constant talking is, but that's how they invent their spleens, right? So you gotta.
Yeah. That's right.
Accepting their spleen.
That's right. But yeah, to be really mindful in your work and to sort of reground yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
Being fully immersed. So some
Yeah.
of the pieces I do really quickly, like you're saying, and then others take forever.
Sure.
Like this.
Yeah. Oh, you've been building on that one for a while.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying,
Yeah. Building on these buildings.
I like that.
For a very long time. And then others I find the images, and I know I have one tucked away that I've been waiting to use, and yeah, they're just so perfect.
And that's part of the timing, right? Like, once you know the medium so well, you just keep working until things work.
Yeah,
Like
you just keep going.
Yeah, and I think that's important. I was just wondering too, like just as we were talking about things that can go quickly or things that take time, I was just thinking of all the big street painting that's been happening with the Black Lives Matter movement.
Yes.
And yeah, and like in these major thoroughfares, right, to actually be able to close down. I can only assume that folks are doing work at night when the traffic is super minimal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're able to do these huge
without getting arrested, right?
Yeah,
still graffiti.
I suppose. Yes, I suppose. Yes.
I was
Even
actually
if the
doing a
city
little bit of research on activist art, just to sort of get in the mindset before today.
Yeah.
I got a little caught up with computer stuff, but I was thinking a lot about like graffiti artists and all of the murals that are being beautiful murals and memorials, I would call them. But they're so fueled.
Yes, currently, yes, that all are part of the Black Lives Matter movement. Yes, definitely. And I was even thinking earlier on, like the movements of, I mean, the actual birth of graffiti in Philadelphia back, I think it was in the 80s. I think it was in the 80s actually, that it all started about the disenfranchised needing to make their voices heard, and so I mean, graffiti was born out of a need for true social justice, right? But then it's become how do you say, cliche almost over the years. Like not saying what the murals and such for Black Lives Matter now are part of that cliche, but the tagging and some of the things that folks will do as time goes on to say, oh, I can do graffiti, but there's no heart and soul to it. Like it's more about this being part of a stereotype as opposed to actually speaking to a cause or a personal issue or something like that. And then the whole pasting movement as well, like graffiti that is pasted. Shepherd Ferry is probably the most famous, with the Andre the Giant and the Obey, kind of, which is based on a film, I think from the 70s or the 80s. It's in black and white, but when you put on the psychedelic glasses, everything turns. You see all the. No, everything's in color. You turn on the glasses. There's these pair of glasses you put on. I'm probably not getting it right, but you put on the glasses, and everything is black and white, and you have all these subversive messages in all the advertising that tell you that. Oh my
God!
Yeah,
never heard of that.
And I can't remember. You have to sort of go research Shepherd Ferry, and he will direct you to this film, and it's astonishing. And so Obey is part of that whole part.
Oh la la wants to know it.
Oh la la. Mine says, okay, oh yeah, it's backwards, right? It says, act out, make change happen, and then act up in some of the corners. And I'm just going to keep adding words and try to make a poster as they would have been made in any sort of maybe protest or just any kind of activist sense, right? Just sort of speaking to activism.
Yeah, I was thinking about posters too.
Yeah, posters are. I mean, there's propaganda, and then there's doing something instead that is trying to elicit change on a positive note, right?
Just the thing about tagging.
Oh yes, sorry.
I know that a lot of tagging is quite ugly.
Yeah, I think that's maybe what I'm getting at.
But I know a lot of people who tag are travelers.
Yes, there's that.
And they are sort of disenfranchised and making their mark.
Yeah. Proof that they were here. Quite literally, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it gives them a sense of existence, I think.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good point. Yeah. Yeah.
So I know it makes things look maybe not as nice. But there is a point to it.
Yeah, in that regard, yes. That makes sense. Yeah. That I can embrace.
Oh, I like this.
But back to that's right, back to the large street painting,
Mm-hmm.
like the scale of things is what I'm trying to
Yes.
figure out, right? Like the fact that if you're going to paint across 1, 2, is it 4 lanes or at least 2 lanes of traffic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to be able to, like, who figures out the proportions? And like some of them, like there's one in New York that is in front of
But they would do it to
courthouse.
scale, right?
Well, but then you translate it
Yeah, it's all blocked.
and blocked off. Yeah, so that's the part that gets me is like who's out there taping it out. Someone's got to tape it out. Someone's got to.
There's got to be a group, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. There's got to be
Like
to
I've
be able to do it
seen,
in one night. You need a lot of people.
I've seen like
Yeah.
I forget what it was, a documentary or an interview or something about a couple graffiti artists who paint together.
Yep.
At night. And yeah, they do, the guy tapes it off, and while he's taping the rest of it, she gets started on the initial sort of outline.
So they're doing big paper tracings. Is that the one with the stencils? They're doing big paper stencils and then they spray paint. That's what Shepherd Ferry does too. And
Oh, okay.
That's how he started off, and then he started just doing big posters because it was, I think, easier to do detailed work.
Right. But so they worked
But
sort
I
of
see what you mean. Yeah.
like in layers together.
Yeah, yeah.
So he
you
would
have
do
to
start one job, and then she would start the second
Work the
job, and
second
when
one.
he finished the first job, he'd go back and do the next thing.
That's what I'm wondering.
Mm-hmm.
Because the one that I saw I saw on a person I follow on Instagram.
Mhm.
It was in New York City in front of a courthouse, and each letter
Mhm.
had a series of like illustrations, kind of thing. So individuals who had died because of their color, basically, who'd been killed
Yes.
by police. So, and killed by the judicial system too. I think is obviously the message in front of it. We're gone. See, I don't know why. Oh, we're just being okay. Live video, and we're back.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mademoiselle
Just-
Hubert.
Stuff is happening with our technology, and this page isn't available right now. So for some reason, yeah. So I don't know. We're having glitches, people.
Oh, it is glitching.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. So our Facebook feed is going, and I don't know why.
Oh, it's off.
I think it's actually on.
Yeah, the Facebook is off.
And Instagram is off.
Everyone!
Oh, for God's sakes, what is going on
Is
here?
it?
What is going on?
Is it
Oh,
off?
no, we're still, no. Wait a minute, I just hit the wrong thing. Okay,
I'm still watching.
and you're still watching, so you're still there.
Yeah.
And Facebook is misbehaving.
Oh.
Oh.
You should give them the link to the YouTube.
How do I do that?
I don't know.
Oh, actually, no, the YouTube is in our, folks, if you're listening, but see, if they're on Facebook, they're gone.
Just put it in the message.
It is, it's on the link.
Oh.
Like it's on the advert for the HIVE.
Oh, okay.
It's actually at the top. Go to this on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
So
Good.
hopefully folks will think to go there.
Yeah.
But it says that we're waiting. So I'm thinking. So it might be. I don't know. I think it might be something with museums. Or, maybe. Hold on. Maybe. So bear with us with our technical difficulties. Keep making whatever you're making. And I'm just trying to think maybe.
And we're back on YouTube.
Are we back on YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, we were almost back on. We're almost back on Facebook. What the heck? We just got waiting for live video. That's all that's happening.
Technology.
Technology, yeah. Technology after. I was going to see if I couldn't.
Princess Joanne. Hello.
Hello, Jojo. Hello.
Oh, she says I miss you, lady.
Aw.
Aw.
But we're still connected to Museum Guest. It's just gone.
I miss everybody.
Yeah. I'll connect to this one instead. Oh. Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
I kind of miss the Ideal Art Space.
Oh, I miss the space. Yeah, it was such a pain in the ass, but I miss it.
Yeah. Right? It was,
It
but it was
was.
wonderful.
With the haunted basement and the bathroom downstairs.
It was
that you would
haunted.
kill yourself trying to go to.
Yes.
Yeah, that was actually not hooked up to anything, so it just went under the floor.
It felt kind of like home, though. Felt like home.
Mm-hmm. It was amazing. Crazy. So hopefully we're going to be back up on. Okay, so now apparently we are back on, and we're on a different.
Nikki, are you saying yes to the basement being haunted?
Yes, Nikki would remember. So with so many others, yes. I don't want to use camera anymore.
I bet you did. She says I hate going down there.
Very scary. So we're just gonna start a new live on Facebook. So we're just gonna go.
There was so much storage there.
It was, yeah. It was really good for that, but you gotta say, it had its other things that were kind of.
We worked really hard.
We did really. We spent 5 weeks. I nearly got crushed by a radiator. Got lung infection.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was not. It was not the safest place to be.
No, it wasn't.
You can't believe it. We actually exposed our clients to that.
We were just so excited.
We were very excited, and it worked out great.
And we were
Landlords are good.
We were so passionate about
yeah,
what we were
it was
doing.
just
We were
yeah,
driven.
We were driven, and now we're back on.
A bunch of driven
goodness.
women.
Yes. Oh, okay. We're back on. We finally got it back up.
Okay.
I think, like you said, yeah, it just
It just died randomly?
I think it capped out on the.
Yeah, well, the YouTube went down too.
Oh.
Everything just went. Yeah. So I put it. Now it's on.
Now
the
we're on.
Office one. The
Nice.
Facebook is, and I think Instagram has been the whole time working, so that's good.
Oh, Nikki's like, there's such a delay from what you guys say to when you see my comments.
Oh no.
It's
Sorry.
not our fault. It's the
Sorry,
interwebs.
The interwebs.
Aw.
We gotta get. We'll get it figured out as time goes on.
But yes, we see the lag. We
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, we're sorry, Nikki. We're sorry.
It's confusing over
Oh,
here.
people, we are so sorry. Oh, at least it's cool.
Right.
It's good. We're in a nice, cool environment.
Yeah.
We're keeping all the coronavirus bugs at bay.
This is like the most joyful I have felt
Yes.
in weeks. Or no, just since I talked to you last.
Yeah,
I
that's
think.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yep. It's been quite a drought. What can I say?
Okay, what's the next?
Yeah. So yes, folks, we really don't know what we're doing on this end, and we're not really sure how much longer we will keep going. We apologize for Facebook cacking out and Instagram screwing up, but I think we're back. And yeah, okay, we're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are
And
back in
We are
action.
Chandra and Maria, and we are back working in the museum,
Yep.
where we are live streaming.
Mhm.
We've got our PPE on.
We sure do.
Yep, we have our Maker North face shields.
Yes, thank you, Nick and Nora.
Yes, thank you, Maker North. Smart. Thank goodness we had those guys in town.
They did. Did they
Holy.
not advertise that they were going to business?
I think the studio part,
Oh.
that part, like, so there's two parts to Maker
Yeah.
North, right? And it's the prototyping kept going,
Okay.
and the 3D printing continues. Hot, like
Okay.
hot guns or hot whatever.
Hot printers.
Yeah, just
Hot off the presses.
hot. Yeah, because it's 3D printing and it's pretty hot. So
Hot off the 3D presses.
you have to melt the beads to make.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
What do
they're
you- Something like that.
yeah. So they're doing their thing, and the face shields are great. They are up to Canadian health standards.
Let's
So-
bye, Nikki.
Oh, is Nikki going?
She's
Oh,
probably
she's-
already gone.
Oh, Nick.
But
He has to go to Bede. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. We'll enjoy.
Yeah, we're gonna go to
Aw.
Bellevue and set up the little chairs and tables.
Oh, that's wonderful.
She's such a fabulous beater.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yes, I think Nikki is.
Like, oh my god.
To discover such a passion is like very blessed, very fortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, to have discovered it and to keep up at it, and
yeah,
she's learned so much and just beautiful.
Yeah.
And the birch bark stuff she's doing now, like the birch bark painting with the beading and like really sophisticated stuff. It's great.
She made Magpie a really beautiful butterfly medallion.
Oh,
And
are we gone again?
is gone.
Oh, Facebook. Okay, you are breaking our hearts, Facebook. Yeah, camera's gone, whole thing's gone.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, there it is. It's in the corner.
Is it?
Oh, and then
and
it's gone.
Oh, jeez. Sorry, folks.
Huh.
So we apologize to the Facebookers who can't hear us. Anyway, so we'll see what we can do here. Funny. I think maybe we have 4 devices on at the same time. Maybe is.
I can turn mine off.
Really? Are you broadcasting or are you?
I'm just following.
So if you're following, what are you doing?
I'm just following so I can read what people are saying.
Right.
Oh, Princess Joanne has a question.
Okay. There's a scratch on there.
Ask away.
Ask, Joe. Ask.
Other questions.
Yeah.
I also have a question.
Okay.
I wonder what other collage artists use for material.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That would be good to know. Good to hear.
Because I like have some preferred magazines where I find gems.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder where some other collage artists find their gems.
Okay, folks. Let us know.
What kind of markers are you using?
Oh, talking about me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So, Joe, these are watercolor dual tip markers that you get at Michael's. These are the in-house company brand, so they're cheaper than the ones by, I think, Prismacolor or whoever else makes them. But they're so you can actually technically you can use a little bit of water if you wanted to, and you can kind of paint with them because they have like a brush tip as well as a drawing straight tip.
And hello, Shauna Lee Blair.
Shauna!
Blair.
Hey.
Hello, Shauna.
Oh, Shauna.
Sorry.
Our Facebook is gone, Shauna.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what's going on. We've tried both Wi-Fi's and both are not working. So hopefully, oh, you found us on YouTube? Did she find us on YouTube?
Did someone?
Did Shauna find us on YouTube? Oh, and I think Isabel found us on YouTube. Right? Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, someone said something.
That was
Val.
her- yeah.
Val.
Yeah,
Yay.
Yay!
Hey. It's just really far away.
Thank you, Isabel, for being out there. And Shauna, where did you see Shauna? Is Shauna on
Shauna's on Insta.
Instagram? There she
Yeah.
is. Okay, she's on IG. Hey, Shauna.
Can I come say hello on live?
Oh, if you know how to do it, sure. What are we talking about? Oh yeah, what?
Oh no, I'm talking.
Who's talking?
We're all over the place now, pal.
Okay.
So, your friend Joanne on Instagram, or our friend Joanne.
Oh, Joe from way back.
Yeah.
You remember Joe?
Yeah.
Oh hi. Are we? What? So are you watching Instagram or
I was watching on Facebook, but
it's gone?
Yeah.
it's gone, eh?
Yeah,
You
it's
can
gone
always
again.
join
And I went
us
to
on
both.
YouTube.
Okay, I'll just watch on Instagram then.
Yeah, it's kind of.
I'm trying to read.
I thought I would turn off my computer in case it was sucking the bandwidth or something.
I don't know, but we're gonna get a guest now on Instagram.
Oh,
Yeah.
So we're gonna do
okay,
that.
sweet.
So I'm just happy people are
I'm just
tolerant
trying
of
to
our
read.
technical craziness. So
What?
and there's Joanne. You can see your forehead. You don't really see the rest of you. Yep. Okay. Little lower. Okay, there you are. Hi. We miss you too. How are you? We're good. We're just trying to deal with technology, but we're okay. Yeah, we do. Yeah. So, okay.
So Isabel and Val are on YouTube watching us.
Okay. So we have other people watching us over there. Okay.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah.
And so you're watching on Instagram now, Joe. So you can see us and hear us pretty good. Okay, good.
Hi.
Good. Hi. Hi. Thank you.
Oh,
We
thank
miss
you.
too. Thank you. We'll keep going. Sorry? Okay, that would be great. That'd be good. Okay, thanks. Okay, take care. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, Joe.
Aw, that's nice.
Nice to hear from an old alumnus.
Yes.
There she goes. Bye-bye. Now we're back.
Oh, it
Okay,
is.
and so we've got,
Nice to see
so we had
people.
Joe. Nice to see an old friend
Yes.
from our early stomping days. Wow.
Yes.
These shields really stop you from touching your face. There's no chin laying. There's no.
Well, even just like
Even
putting
ju-
your hand up or your elbow on the chair.
Yeah. so,
Yeah.
so it's a
Isabel says it's nice to see us in the same room.
Yes, same here.
Thanks.
Thanks, Izzy. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, Shelly Lee.
Hello, Shelly. Hello. So we're hoping folks are working and doing stuff. We really like you to send us your images to the longest email address in the world, theartspeaksproject@gmail.com. So this time I actually thought ahead and I put it in our advert for tonight's HIVE, as well as, well, obviously you guys found the YouTube listing, and in our Instagram as well. The address is there, so you guys can just go there and find us. And Facebook has decided we're done doing things.
Can I ask you a question, Maria?
Yes, my dear. Sorry.
Could participants send you their images in Facebook Messenger?
I think I can download it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So if they don't want
Yes.
to email it, they could always send it via Facebook Messenger or
Yes, because we have access to
via Instagram.
that. I can never get that to work
Okay,
because I'm not sure how
so
to.
don't do that.
Don't do it. Don't send them via Instagram because I can never get them to download.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal
So
is.
yeah, you could, so if you don't want to do the email, you could do it through Facebook.
Yeah, through the Messenger part, because you can go to the Art Speaks project in Messenger.
Yeah, go to
And,
the Art Speaks project page and message Art Speaks with your images.
Yeah, and we'll find it, and we'll be able to. I'm going to try Facebook one more time just because it. I say when it's over, not Facebook. See how it goes. That was very dictatorial of me. Oh my god, so horrible. Okay, so we're just going to go back. Something hit the floor. What was
It was my bottle of water.
Ah. Okay. So hopefully. I'll put my hand in front of the camera. Are we there? Okay. So we've got some things you can see. We're going sneaking in behind the phone. There's Chandra working away. And now we're going to show you. Okay, now I'm going to show you the tabletop where our stuff is. I think we're back on.
Oh, I like that angle.
There. Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay, there we are.
We're good.
And we're back on Facebook for however long it lets us stay.
Yeah.
So, there you go. So we're going to do that. And we're still on Instagram. Thank you, folks, for sticking in there with us.
Yeah.
And here we go. We're going to try and work on our act out poster. Yeah. And I think when everything cut out and everything just went to into technology hell, we were talking about the large street paintings that have been happening.
Right.
Around the world, but mainly in a lot of major American cities in support of Black Lives Matter and to fund the police and all these good things. And that's just from talking too much.
I'd like to see more street art from like Black, Indigenous people of color here and all over Canada and in Sault Ste. Marie. I can dig that. Oh, Bye, Joe.
True.
Have a great night.
It was nice to see the like the mural project that was started here in the Sioux.
Mm-hmm.
It's had some interesting pieces up, and it's good to see the works, especially the combined works that have been put up. Indigenous artists, I think, on a number of buildings, which has been nice.
Mm-hmm.
And
I know that Ricky Strack was part of
yeah, I think
a mural
hers
project.
is one, I think, on
Theirs.
is the one that's on Bruce behind
The Mill Market.
Village Media. Ah, yes.
They've done more than one.
They've got the first. I think the first ones were down at the Mill Market.
Mhm.
Are they still up? Yes. No. Yes.
I would hope so.
They were cutouts.
Yes.
Yes. And yes, right. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then for the future Sault Ste. Marie, they did a project, and Village Media, I think.
Yeah, there was a
Has it.
collaboration on this.
Yes, on the back of that. Oh, maybe that's.
No, that was someone else.
That was someone else.
There was a collaboration on the
Ricky's?
side of
The two buildings. Yeah. It's there.
well,
Not the alleyway.
I want to call it a bowling alley, but it's not. It's that
Oh,
building on Queen Street, Sioux Blaster, on the side of Sioux Blaster.
there's one in there.
There's a mural on the side of Sioux Blaster.
Is that Ricky's?
Ricky and someone else.
Oh, okay. So like on that leads you down to in between another. No, on that faces the big parking lot.
Mhm.
Right, as it leads you down to Bay
Mhm.
Street. Ah, okay. So
Oh,
that's
we're
one.
off of Facebook.
Are we off again? Okay, we're just gonna give up on Facebook now. We just don't.
Mhm.
We're just not enjoying what they're doing.
Mm.
Okay. So
Oh.
no, and it's gonna go then. Yeah. See?
Oh.
Oh, I knew it. All right. So maybe Facebook. Maybe we are trying too much.
Between the Arts Council.
Oh, yep.
Is that a spot where a mural is?
Is that what we're? Oh. On between the arts, or between the Arts Council. Yeah, the white. Oh no! You know what? I think. Okay, Sioux Blasters is the former local. Well, I knew it as the local building.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was after local. What was it?
It was a call center.
Oh, it was a call center, and then so Katie, if you go further on the, I think we're talking not so much between the Arts Council building and the Sioux Blaster building, but it's not an alleyway, right? It's on the other side, open space.
You know that little open space where they tried to put a piano?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, on the side of the
And
building.
there's like somewhere to sit.
Yeah, they put
And there's
like
like a little free library.
yes. So it's the
There's a mural.
yeah. So it's parking space for one of the buildings.
Oh no, I'm confused. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay.
maybe she. But yeah, it's
all
yeah,
good.
there's a parking space, and yeah. So I'm just gonna write a note to people on Facebook and apologize.
Just put the.
What am I doing? What are you doing?
You can put the. No, I'm just pretending to type because I don't have anything.
Okay, so Chandra's gonna run the show for a sec.
Yeah.
While I try to get us back
Sure.
up here.
Yeah, it's really beautiful, that mural.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think there should be just more and more of them. All murals. And make the city beautiful. It would be interesting to have more sort of storytelling murals of the history
Mm-hmm.
of the Sioux. I
Yeah.
know that there's.
What's happening now? They're not happening now. Okay. So no, it's posted. It has. Sorry, folks. We are having technical difficulties, and,
Yeah.
and it has posted that the Art Speaks project's video was live and that it's now,
Oh,
which doesn't make sense because the camera is not on.
yeah.
So, so I'm just gonna go. And we have multiple. Oh dear, such unflattering shots. Anyway, a lot of neck, a lot of under the. It's very funny.
Oh, like these ones?
Yeah, those ones. Yeah, yeah. And I think in the first half I did. There was nothing but butt, so it was all pretty funny. Oh, I think we're gonna have to get rid of one or two of them because
A
there's like four.
parrot.
There's four of them.
Hmm?
I think there's like 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 4 versions of today. It's created a number of videos. Anyway, so I'm sorry. There we are. Keep going. You're gonna say something? I'm just
Well,
gonna share things.
Katie says Todd at the city
Yes.
says that there are 8 more murals planned for next year.
Ah.
I wonder what they're going to be of.
I wonder.
I hope they're not white centric. And they're
Yeah.
storytelling.
Yeah.
That's what I hope.
Storytelling would be nice. Yes.
Let's hope. Because that's exciting.
Yes.
She wonders as well.
I think many of us are wondering what
Yeah.
exactly the city has planned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know that people are curious. Yeah,
Oh,
there's like
yeah.
a heritage.
Yeah,
What's-
so that would make sense, yeah. Oh, God.
What else?
Oops. Okay. This is posters. All right. So we've shared again. So hopefully folks on Facebook will see the new. I just apologized on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
I just reposted today's link,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll just shut down Facebook for now, right?
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Since we.
Did you put this link?
Yes, I put YouTube.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because whoever wants to watch on Facebook right now could just come join on YouTube. And
Yeah, because the link is right there. So I just
Yeah.
posted. I just shared again,
Yeah.
folks. I shared our Facebook listing for
Yeah.
tonight's Art Hive. It's got the little hot pink image, and it's got the link directly to YouTube. So hopefully, folks will find us there.
Yeah.
But again, thank you to those of you who are hanging in there. And we have no clues what time it is. And yeah, so we're just we still have a few people with us on Instagram. Thank you for being staunch supporters. And please send us your pictures of what you're working on. Or, if you end up, writing something, or there's poetry, or there's a story that comes out of it, just send it along, just so we can share it with the world. And that would be awesome. That is. And remember too that whatever we do here together too, we are sharing what we do with the museum and their COVID reflections project as well. So kind of working on this moment in history kind of collection of images and goings on, and the art hives are definitely art hives wouldn't happen had it not been for the pandemic. We were kind of not really, like, we had always talked about it, but we never did it. I think we just never got around to it. So now we.
The Cyber Hive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we always talked about doing something online.
Yeah.
Like we kind of figured out, but then we never figured out how to.
Like from the beginning.
Yeah. It was part of the. Yeah. We got so caught up in teaching all these other sessions and stuff, and then the whole thing changed into art hives, which is different from what we started out with.
It's an ever-evolving thing.
It is an ever-evolving project, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I think is good. I mean, I think that's part of the whole magic of art making.
Well, it'll sort of grow and morph with the needs of the community, right?
Yeah, and I think, I think what we did in terms of Art Speaks and back in 2017 certainly met a need back then.
Yeah.
And I think just from the, sort of, it's been interesting running the art hives, and when you compare the number of attendees and just kind of look at the amount of time people, how many people we engaged with, and we really, yes, our workshop series were powerful because we had like a dedicated group of folks who participated, right, for as long as they possibly could.
Yes.
But our drop-ins actually saw a lot of action. And I don't think we really realized just how much action we were seeing until kind of after when we started looking at the numbers.
Yeah, you kind of take.
You go, wow, we actually were interacting with a lot of folks. Overall, at least 100 and, I think we figured out it was like 108 people.
Like different people?
In that first year, yeah. Not the 42 that we worked with. Like we worked with like 42, 45 through the Art Speaks workshop series.
Yeah.
It was more or less. And then when you added on exposure to the art drops,
Yeah.
it might have been maybe, let's say, out of that 107 or whatever people, at least half of them were repeats, but at least half were not. Like half were just walk-ins, or they showed up here and there. So, and that was only a 7-month project, right? And then when we did the Art Hives this time around with the 24, I think in like a third of the hives we've already worked with over 100 and something people. So, yeah.
Pretty awesome.
And online, it's a bit more tricky in terms of trying to figure out how to know numbers and kind of go by views, I guess, ultimately. How many people stop by for a few seconds or whatever who visit. We usually have a core of about 10 to 12 who respond or maybe not send work, but you can tell that they're there.
Yeah.
So, so we're getting a bit of, it's been good that way. We've been getting some responses and lots of views. And I think, we just got to figure out how to get maybe some sort of mood survey or something like that to help us know how folks are really responding to what we're doing. But maybe once we start working on that series that we're talking about, we'll be able to do that more. Yes, we'd be able to do that in a more dedicated way because we'd be able to do the 45 minutes or whatever and have like a quick response at the end or something like that.
I already have like 8 ideas.
So many ideas.
So many ideas. So many.
Yeah. So we'll work on it.
Yeah.
We got to figure it out.
Yeah. I'm excited about the future.
Yeah. So the pandemic for us has been interesting in that we've been able to work on some project parts that we hadn't maybe acted on before, and has created possibilities now that we didn't know existed.
Yeah.
Because we never actually tried it before, but we thought about it.
Well, it just speaks more to, or it speaks more thing and adapting to community needs.
It does, yeah, and that is what the project's always been about, right? Is doing what the community needs, and reflecting upon that, and making sure we're around for folks. And that's also the reason why it's free access when you come to the museum. And we work on work on things in house, and
oh yeah, well, that's great.
did we just lose? We didn't lose again, did we? No. Okay, we're still on.
We're on.
I'll tell you, that is the one drawback about technology. So you never really know. You're gonna lose
Unpredictable.
it. Yeah, it's unpredictable some days.
I wasn't going to use this Trump picture, but I have to.
You have to. You just have to. It's just there.
He's the epitome of evil for me.
Oh yeah, I hear you. Yep.
He encompasses everything that I'm afraid of.
Yes, he's the living archetype, is he not? Yeah. This is horrendous. Absolutely horrendous.
Adam and I were kind of chatting about it. We were like, why has no one tried to assassinate this man?
I know.
We figured it out.
Yeah, why?
Because anyone who would have been crazy enough to assassinate him voted for him.
Yeah, and there's that. Yeah. Then there's that. Yep. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah. But not that we will, not that we wish harm on anybody, but yeah. Let's not be advocating for that right now. Yeah.
Anyway, I gotta cut this out.
Yeah, you do.
Just thought that interesting.
It is interesting. It is. No, it is. It is. Yeah. I just feel really bad for so many people.
Yeah.
Oh, Yvonne has
Oh,
joined. Hello.
Yvonne. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Yvonne. Hello.
Welcome. Been a long time.
Long time, Yvonne. We're in the same place together, Yvonne.
Yep.
Yeah. It's nice. For once. Okay.
We can just imagine her here with us.
Yeah.
Oops. Maybe she can write us some poetry.
Maybe. Maybe she'll make us a visual poem.
Quite an excellent
She is.
writer.
She's a good writer.
Mm-hmm. And very creative at incorporating her words into visual.
Mm-hmm. And that's what we miss about being in the hive itself.
Oh, Shelley's leaving.
Oh, Shell, you gotta
Night,
go.
Shelley.
Thanks. Take care. See you later.
Yes, stay safe.
And yeah, that's the thing too that I miss about being in the hive is that we would be able to just honor people, honor their creativity at that moment in that
Yes.
space together, and those are the discussions we'd have every so often.
And the sharing about our lives and
Mm-hmm.
connecting.
Yeah.
And that welcoming feeling when you walk into the room.
Yeah, because we reminisced about how we missed being together with everybody, and then technology shut us down. Sorry.
I don't know.
Oh, is YouTube back?
Yeah, we're back.
Oh my God. Okay. Oh, people, we just want to. Oh, and then there's my hubs. Okay.
Oh.
We just want to apologize for all the crazy.
Mr. Dunn.
Mr. Dunn. We waved. Yeah, we just want to apologize for all the technological snafus, because we're just. Well, no, we've lost Facebook, and YouTube's now.
Oh,
back.
it's good now.
And I think Instagram is now back for a bit. But if you should happen to lose us, know that it's all us and not you.
Yes.
Okay? That's all we got to say.
It's us, not you, and
Yeah.
we'll be back.
We'll be back, if not tonight, maybe in 2 weeks. Maybe we'll figure it out a little bit better.
Yeah.
But holy cats.
Oh,
Wow.
I'm going to crack this technology code.
I don't know. What do we need, like our own Wi-Fi booster attached to us, maybe? Or
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe just can't deal with. Oh. No. But I had the Facebook on a different account. So that doesn't matter because it's all one modem, right? That's right.
Yes, the same connection.
Same connection, right? Interesting. Oh dear. Oh well. Always something to think about.
And there's something about CPU that I don't understand with streaming on this machine.
CPU?
Yeah.
Okay. It's weird too that kind of facing in the wrong direction. Okay. Weird because we're talking and we're moving in a different direction than that. No. Wait. Go to your right? Which is your right? This is your right. So you're gonna go. When you go to your right, you're gonna go to your left. There it is. It just freaks me out. That's all. And I'm like, see?
It's the
Okay, I've moved in
opposite.
space, but I'm pointing, which is what I always do.
Yeah.
And now I'm just, okay. See, I'm giving up.
Oh, the leg isn't that bad. Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah, well, I just really
Oh, it's really, really bad.
It's really disconcerting. We're like watching ourselves on the, and it's just making us nauseous. Okay.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. A little weird.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'm having a good time.
No. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Today's an experiment. Thank you for bearing with us.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, and please say that you're laughing with us. So if you laugh at us, it's good too. That's fine. Lord knows. Tell you the shields are hit though. I like these.
I'm used to it now.
Yeah, these are helpful.
Freaked me out at first.
Oh yeah, it is.
I have to go take a time out.
Yes, no, I hear you. Like being put into a glass bubble.
Yeah,
it's just
it was really hard to
yeah, it's weird.
orient myself.
You know what it reminds me of?
Mm.
Kind of, sort of, but not as bad, but almost, like being in the MRI machine.
Kind of, eh?
Kind of, sort of.
Just
the
the
plastic
closeness
is
of
so
it.
close. Like, you're like, oh.
I think I was wearing mine crooked. Mine was like this.
Oh, when you're cockeyed, that's not gonna happen. There you go. There. See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Get your ears covered. You don't want none of that coronavirus spitting out at you.
You can get it in your ears,
Apparently. That's why you don't want it.
in
That's
your
why you-
eyes.
Yeah, which is what these are good for. Because
Yeah.
it stops you from sticking your fingers in your eyes. It stops someone from, you know,
Spitting in your eye.
spitting in your eye. Yeah. Coughing on you, whatever.
I spoke to a COVID denier on the
Oh,
phone
no. Hard.
in where's Boise?
Boise, Idaho?
Yeah.
Idaho.
Yeah.
Idaho is in the States.
Yeah.
They have lots of potatoes.
She's not a believer,
Oh dear.
or she doesn't think it's that serious.
Oh dear.
Yeah. I
She
was
call
very
you-
surprised.
Did she call you on purpose?
She looks for Apple.
Oh, okay. Oh, jeez Louise. Oh boy, okay.
We just talked for like a really long time.
So you know what kind of cubicle she's hanging out in.
They're working from home.
Are they really?
Oh yeah,
Oh boy.
they're working from home. There's no
Interesting.
one. Same with shop.
Huh? Oh yeah, well that makes sense.
Yeah, there's no.
I don't
I
know
don't
why
think.
it's
I don't
thinking-
think phone workers are going into the office.
No, I would think, yeah. I would think,
So yeah, they're all working from home.
that makes sense.
So yeah, we just talked kind of for 40 minutes because she couldn't help me with my problem. We just chit-chatted, had a lot in common,
That's great.
and then we started talking about COVID,
Oh my god, okay.
and she was just really honest and
Oh, that's refreshing. I suppose.
wasn't really concerned about it.
Wow.
And then I asked her how she explained the 2 million cases
Yeah.
in the States.
Yeah.
And she said that she didn't really even know how it got to the States in the first place.
That doesn't answer the question.
That's what I
I
said.
didn't answer the question. Why aren't you answering the question?
And she said that just none of the numbers made sense. And I was like, well, regardless, you might want to wear a mask in case you're wrong.
That is a trauma response. Not yours, what she said.
Right.
Yeah.
I was
You're-
nice about it though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's
And she
her,
was like, maybe you're right.
no, that's her immobilized trauma response.
Yes.
Yes. To deny as opposed to take action.
She just sounded so uncertain.
Yep. Because it's easier to deny.
I can't imagine being in the States right now.
Nope. It's gonna be a long time before I go back to visit or do anything.
I'm so glad I didn't buy those Billie Eilish tickets for MagPie.
Oh.
We were going to go to Detroit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. I mean, it would have been probably a good concert, but
Nope.
nope. Not anymore.
Nope.
Nope. It's a long time before we do any public
Yeah,
music.
we were gonna go in April.
Oh yeah.
So it
No,
wasn't
no, no.
canceled. Is it?
Oh yeah, for sure. And actually, I'm really relieved actually how quickly things were canceled.
Mhm.
Like it's obvious that promoters and artists understood the severity of what was,
Mhm.
the severity of things just going sour so fast. So, yeah. But, and that's the thing too. Like what we were talking to about this time frame, this intensity of times.
Mhm.
It comes as no surprise that social justice issues have come to the fore at this time as well because of the intensity of the times, and that it is prime time to make noise, get up, make noise about issues that are important,
Yep.
and get rid of, start addressing systemic racism, start addressing oppressive systems in our schools and government, and
Yep.
in our society in general, in healthcare. I mean, Lord knows, having worked in Art Speaks in 2017, we heard enough stories about discrimination against people of color
Yep.
in the healthcare mental health
Oh
system.
my God.
And
So many.
yeah, and so many of the people that we worked with then, and even currently now, right, are navigating systems that are not, maybe not openly hostile, but certainly in their structure and in their presentation,
they're
are
systematically hostile.
very subversively hostile.
Yeah.
And so like
What's scary is people don't even realize that they're doing it.
no, I think it's so ingrained in us and in our socializing and training.
I posted something about white privilege.
Yeah.
And someone asked me what systems of oppression still exist today.
Wow. Yeah. Well, no, but you're right. Eh?
That really takes me back. Like,
Sure.
How can you not know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the thing.
And then, and I didn't really think until then
Mm-hmm.
that there are people living their lives right now who have no idea that there are systems of oppression at play.
Yes. No, this is very true. No, true. Now, I'll say one thing about like when I worked at the local correctional facility.
Mm-hmm.
And working with, like, I worked with a very small population of women, and when you sort of look at the representation of people of color within that system, you're going, you can only have beds for 8, and of those beds for 8, at least half are always women of color, and you're going, how? And the population is not representative of, like, that is not the majority of people in this country are people of color.
Nope.
They are the minority.
Yep.
And so that already sort of starts telling you something about the system that has made it quite possible and incredibly probable that it will always be, for the most part, people of color who will be targeted by the system and brought into, because when you compare and contrast what different people did that brought them to being in a provincial facility, be it for treatment as well as a local municipal jail.
Yep.
And you're looking at what they did and you compare and contrast, and you're going, okay, so this person who is visibly not a person of color, that person is in for 12 months. So we're just gonna shared IG. Share out. And we are going to, so you take a look at that and you go, well, when you compare and contrast what folks have been through and what took them to being here, you sort of go, how are you, who's visibly not a minority, only here for 12 months, but you, a visible minority, are here for 18, the same thing. What the heck is going on exactly, right? This is your first offense for the person who's a person of color, multiple offense for the person who is not, right? You go, what? That makes no sense. So, so there's a lot of that kind of weird stuff.
There is a lot of that
going on, right? And that's the judicial system, right? So, yeah, it's interesting.
Well, I watched a video of a guy get arrested for dancing.
Oh, really?
Yep.
In North America, in Canada?
No, in the States.
Oh my goodness.
He was in his own neighborhood.
Jeez.
And he likes to go for walks in the morning.
Yeah.
And he likes to dance.
Oh.
And a lady called the cops, and they even played her call. Said there was an African American man dancing.
That's ridiculous.
And
how paranoid do you have to be to do that?
She called and said it seemed suspicious.
Oh, jeez.
And the cops came and detained him.
Oh, of course.
They put him on the ground.
Poor man. No.
They arrested him.
They hurt him, I bet you, while they did.
And there was like a lady across the street, like, what are you doing? He lives in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? And they told her
this. We don't want to hear it.
And then like 6 cops came.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
And the guy was like, I live here. Why are you doing this?
Why are you doing this? Yeah.
And they wouldn't even listen to him. They don't even listen.
That is,
you know, they don't. They're not willing to have a conversation to hear what's going on.
No, like to just check his driver's license, for crying out loud.
They didn't even ask him for ID.
No, that exactly right. What about he lives there.
Well, the thing is, they don't even have the right to ask for his ID.
They don't.
No,
But,
he's not doing anything wrong.
but you can grab. No, I know, but they grabbed him and put him down.
Well,
So
if they're detaining him, they have to tell him why.
Yeah.
But they have to have a reason.
And they,
So detaining him is actually against the law,
but they still do it.
but it's illegal.
But they still do it regardless.
Yeah.
Even though they haven't like
Right,
checked all
and
the
so,
facts.
but people now are refusing to be detained.
You can do that.
Well, it's not effective.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
And they're refusing to give ID.
That would be threatening. Yeah.
There was
It's so dangerous.
I saw a video of a guy cleaning up garbage around his dorm,
Right. There are stories that.
and a cop car pulled over.
Yeah.
Asked him what he was doing there. He's like, I'm cleaning up garbage. And asked him why he was hanging around that building.
Yeah.
I live here.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of cops were called, and they were following him around
And he did it.
because he wouldn't tell him what room he lived in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
But it's not their, and he's not doing anything wrong, right?
No.
Like it's racial profiling.
Yeah.
Like and you can't tell me that that's not systemic racism.
well, and then
Oy, oy, oy.
finally, one of the staff of the college came
Mhm.
and told them to back off,
Jeez, that's what it takes.
but they didn't ask that guy for any ID.
There you go.
Yeah,
He's probably not a person of color.
no, he's old like that.
So these are the things, right, that people who are naysayers need to understand about. And yeah, it's a difficult time and a difficult place, and yes, we've all been born into these systems that we have to figure out how to help change and how to react in more compassionate ways.
Yeah.
And learning, defunding the police.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very. Not like I personally did not know just how much overfunding the correction system gets, right? And
Yeah.
how I kind of suspected how underfunded social services is because I've worked in the sector for years,
Yeah.
and it's always a struggle to get money to work with anybody. Right?
Anybody. Yeah.
Any agency, totally underfunded.
Yep.
That works in social services, and so to defund the police does not mean to get rid of police
No.
totally.
Nope.
It means to take the funding model and work with it so that social services is actually allowed to do what it is that they do, right? And to put more money into that. So I think that's the value in that. And I think we need to have more of that happen.
Well, I think policing needs to be restructured
Yes, I agree.
because the way that it's run is not effective.
No, it's obvious. It's obvious. No.
Well, I learned something about policing today that I wasn't aware of.
Mhm.
And that originally,
Yeah.
police in the United States was created to apprehend black enslaved runaways.
There you go. Everything has a genesis, right?
So they're kind of
Still doing that. Yeah. Yeah. Haven't really taken any kind of cultural competency courses lately, have they?
No, I don't think they have to.
Well, not in the
I don't
States,
think that's part of it.
No.
So.
These are, this is the time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's the benefit of the pandemic, right? Is that it actually creates space for so many new discussions, so much
Someone
new
has to
dialogue.
make it happen, though, right? Like.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like the fact that there's such a volume of outcry for change, right? And it seems that some cities have started to act upon it.
Mm-hmm.
At least in the bigger American centers. I think Canada is maybe starting to think about that.
My heart broke for Yuknik Singh.
Oh yes. He is a good man.
Mm-hmm.
And he's very brave.
He is so brave.
And very, I think, far more thoughtful than folks have probably given him credit for during the running of the Bulls
Yeah.
when they were running for election, right?
Oh yeah,
There just wasn't enough time to get to know him, I think.
I felt like I got to know him.
During the election period?
Fell right in love with him.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He was so genuine.
Yes, there's that.
He was brave then.
Yep.
He was brave to start so late.
Yeah, I think that's the part that, for the majority of people, I think there'd been more time, like a bigger,
I think
lead
I
up.
think any person of color that wears a headdress and
Mhm.
runs for prime minister
Yeah, for public office, yeah. Oh, yeah, Prime Minister, yeah.
has to be very brave.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yep.
good for him.
Yep, I'm hoping he sticks around.
And he owns it, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think if anything, the pandemic has certainly shown him to be a formidable leader.
Mm.
And whether you agree with him or not, right?
Yeah.
That's not what we're talking about.
No.
It's just as an individual.
Yeah.
He seems very authentic and very, just very passionate about
Representing.
his perspective that I think the majority probably never think of. Yeah. I still don't see why he had to leave the House of Commons. That makes no sense.
Because it's the rule.
It's no sense.
It was the.
No.
It was the rule. I can't even believe that.
I know. So that has to. So there's a system that needs challenging right there. So.
And he challenged it.
Yep. And hopefully there's change.
Mm-hmm. Those are very old rules.
Yes, and then there's that.
They're
And I
very
think that's-
old,
Yeah, I
and
think
no
that's
one has
part of it.
had to challenge it before.
Yeah, well, I think that's part of it too. Yeah, that these old antiquated ways are still very much here. So, folks out in Instagram world and YouTube world,
I think I'm.
yeah, I think you're the only one on Instagram because I think we've scared them all off with our. Anyway, we're just yabbering on ourselves now. How long have we been here? Do we know?
2 hours and 15 minutes.
Well, I think we've done good.
Yeah.
I think we've come and said and done.
Yeah.
And we have far too much live stuff to figure out about what we keep and what we don't keep. We'll have to see.
I think I know how to do it.
Oh, okay, which part?
Like going forward.
How to do the
Facebook live.
out of there instead of
Yes.
yeah.
We'll do Facebook and YouTube together. And then we can do Instagram.
Yeah, I think doing Instagram the way we're doing is not too bad.
No,
Yeah, it still works. So we're gonna sign off just because now we're just yabbering amongst ourselves.
yeah.
So please send us your pictures. Send us pictures of your work or poems or anything, and really anything that you've been working on at all. Can't even tell if anyone's up there, but that's okay. We are.
No,
I think we're just us. Okay, we're just gonna say bye. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.